Awareness, awareness, awareness. Women must do the breast self-exam.
Victoria Chesire, head of marketing Godrej, noted it is important for all businesses to pick a worthy cause and through it give back to the society.
I think it's very important for any brand because today nobody talked about how much we are selling. Today all we talked about is that how this brand is going to help these women feel. And, it's so much more. I believe that any sickness, and cancer being one of them, is more internal. So the mindset, if you make the woman feel actually better, a brand makes a woman feel much better by just giving them hair, then that takes them, to a higher level in terms of even how they take on life during this journey of, surviving cancer. It could also actually contribute to them getting better faster. So for me, I would tell all brands that are able to come in and plug in to any, good cause that they can do. I think it's super important for where the brand is going. Because why are we making brands anyway? Why are we in business anyway? We are in business to impact people. And if a brand has found a way they can truly, truly impact, the society, then it's a very good and it's inevitable that we need to do it.
At least if you have some hair.
Rose Chedo, a cancer survivor, said the wigs donated by Darling will go a long way in restoring their self-esteem and confidence.
There's a day I forgot to wear a wig. Some visitors were coming. So they called me and told me we're already here and we are not getting parking. So I had to rush to help them. I forgot to wear a wig or a cape. So when I reached the road, at the shops, I realized people are looking for me. That is when I realized something was not right with me. Then when I touched my head, I realized I didn't have a wig or a cape. So you can imagine how people find it very strange to see you in completely bald. At least if you have some hair, it's a bit better. But when you are completely bald, it's a bit strange. So you find that most cancer survivors most cancer survivors and patients cannot afford wigs. So we get support from different organizations which donate wigs to us, and we really appreciate that also.
They are very premium wigs, very good quality.
The impact of cancer cannot be downplayed. Rachel Kitonyo, board member KENCCANSA Association, went on to paint a picture of the ramifications of cancer to the country. She started by pointing out that cancer is a disease on the rise and the government needs to invest heavily in raising awareness on preventive methods.
So the message to the government is that we need to bring down the cost of treatment. The first thing they can do, zero-rate chemotherapy drugs. I know the country is broke, but I think health is important. Remove the 16% tax on chemotherapy drugs, and the price is going to come down.
She further went on to add that Kenyans should be sensitized on the importance of early diagnosis.
Then the second thing becomes early diagnosis and treatment. And again, as I sit sometimes at the KENCCANSA office, we find that we are losing so many people in this country. We currently have 47,000 new cases every year, out of which 33,000 die. That's a very high percentage. And part of the reason so many of these people are dying is because of late diagnosis. And so the second thing we talk about at KENCCANSA is early diagnosis. How many of you here go for your annual medical checkup? For women, how many of us know about breast self-examination? October is Cancer Awareness Month. How many of us are checking ourselves once a month, same time every month, 6 weeks after the period, to catch a lump early? Because if it is caught early, it can be treated. Again, for women, because most of us in the room are women, how many of you have gone for your pap smear? Every 2 years, pap smear. It costs as little as 1,000 shillings. For your mother, your sister, your daughters if they're over 20, surely can you not spare 500 shillings every year for your mother in the village to go for her pap smear? So why aren't we doing these things? Is it because we don't know? Is it because we are waiting until we catch it late? And cervical cancer is another one that if caught early is almost 100% treatable. So number one killer in Kenya, breast cancer, closely followed by cervical cancer. Those are the two most preventable because there's early detection available and we are not doing it.
Another key issue that came up is the cost of treatment whose impacts are far-reaching.
Like milk. We've all been told we should give our children milk. And I think there's no Kenyan who doesn't take tea. Sometimes I say tea is a Kenyan human right. So in every office, there is tea. You visit us in our homes, there is tea. Yet even the milk in Kenya occasionally can be a source of cancer. And so if there's one thing that we could do to start bringing down the burden of cancer in this country, I believe is working on our food system. The other things, alcohol abuse in this country, tobacco abuse in this country, lack of exercise. How many hours do we spend caught in traffic, breathing in exhaust? So all of these are things that can be prevented.
Thank you.
With cancer being the center of most health conversations in the country, it is up to both the public and the private sector to find ways of working together to manage the disease in the country, as the economic impact transcends far beyond the individual.